Alright, it's JackalGoldKick here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the YouTuber known as AlphaOmegaSin and why he sucks. Basically, AlphaOmegaSin sucks. That's what this video is going to be about. Now, I used to watch AlphaOmegaSin. I used to watch his channel. I used to like his videos. I used to, years ago, a while ago, used to like his videos. But then when I started watching videos about AlphaOmegaSin, especially the videos that the 1316 killer made about AlphaOmegaSin, and even though he makes a lot of comedy videos, he still had some truth to what he said about AlphaOmegaSin. When I really sat back, I'm using this as a metaphor, when I really sat back and looked at the bigger picture, and even, watching the 1316 Killers videos about Alpha, I looked at the bigger picture and thought about it, I really started to realize how much I honestly just dislike AlphaOmegaSin. I don't like this fucking YouTuber. I don't like this guy. He's just another one of these YouTubers who only cares about money. They don't care about the videos they're putting out. They don't care about you. They only give a shit about the money. And what AlphaOmegaSin does is regurgitate video game articles in the articles he covers. Regurgitate means to repeat information without repeat something and talk about like an article or repeat information without fully analyzing it. That's what it means. Or the other definition is like food, but the 1316 killer always mentioned that AlphaOmegaSin would regurgitate video game articles. I remember him saying that. And I never knew what that word meant, and I looked it up, and it holds a lot of truth to what AlphaOmegaSin does. And what he basically does is regurgitate articles. He repeats information without fully analyzing it. Because honestly, even looking at the quality, or not the quality, but maybe like the content of videos that AlphaOmegaSin does, he sucks. He's boring. All he does in his videos is cover these articles, cover these video game articles, and just all he does is cuss, say obnoxious shit, and act obnoxious in his videos. It's boring. It's not funny at all. It's lame. Because I don't have a problem with cussing. I cuss, but the way he does it and how he words in his videos and how he talks, it's just plain boring and retarded. He acts like a retarded person on YouTube. He's fucking stupid. I don't like him. I don't like him as a YouTuber, and I damn sure don't like him as a person. Some other shit about him I don't like is he's one of these people that let the fame get to his head. You know, those people who blow up, those, whether it be a rapper or a YouTuber or whatever, when they start to get some fame and they start to get bigger, they let the fame get to their head and they change. A lot of the old friends they had, they just cut them off and they're not even their friends anymore. That's the type of person AlphaOmegaSin is. And how I know about this was shout out to Silent Rob, aka Face Destroyer Inc. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He mentioned AlphaOmegaSin in a few streams and stuff, and he was talking about AlphaOmegaSin and how fake AlphaOmegaSin is pretty much because AlphaOmegaSin, him and Alpha used to be good friends. You know, they did tons of podcasts. The Hey Bit podcast had Silent Rob, AlphaOmegaSin, and some other people. You know, they used to do podcasts together. They knew each other. And basically, AlphaOmegaSin never gave Silent Rob a shout out. Alpha Omega, Silent Rob talked about more of this in the live stream. If you want to go look it up, the videos are still up. But what this basically means that Silent Rob was talking about, it means that AlphaOmegaSin is nothing more than one of these typical people who they get famous and they change. They just completely change. They let the fame get to their head and they forget all their old friends. It's not only Silent Rob. I've seen it with other people. Larry Bundy Jr., I think is how you say his name. I seen him in the comments of one video, and he even mentioned that, Alpha changed and him and Alpha ain't really friends anymore and this and that. I forgot everything he said, but that's pretty much the gist of what he said. And also, Brett Hicks, another YouTuber I like, he even mentioned that him and Alpha used to be friends, I think, and then him and Alpha ain't friends anymore. So from all these examples I'm giving you, it goes to show you that AlphaOmegaSin is one of those people who let the fame get to their head once they get bigger and they leave all their old friends behind and they completely change. Another thing I don't like about AlphaOmegaSin is he's a fake ass motherfucker. From my knowledge, Silent Rob said that in the Hate Bit podcast, uh, I don't know why I'm stumbling on words, but in the Hate Bit podcast, Silent Rob said that AlphaOmegaSin would trash talk Cinemassacre, like angry video game nerd, I think, and James, somebody in the Cinemassacre channel. He said he talked shit about Cinemassacre and James or somebody like that in the Angry Video Game Nerd channel. But now AlphaOmegaSin is hanging out with him. It's not like AlphaOmegaSin did a video squashing beef with him or they patched something up. No, there was never any of that. Alpha Omega Sin hangs out with Cinemassacre and James and Angry Video Game Nerd, even though he talks shit about him on a Hate Bit podcast. That comes off as very fake, very phony. That would be like me if you saw me in a video hanging out with Tony DeYoung, even though I did a rant on him and I exposed him, that would be like me starting to hang out with Tony DeYoung and not even addressing anything of what I said about him. That'd be like me just start if I just started hanging out with Tony DeYoung, even though I did a rant on him and I can't stand him as a person. That's fake. That would, like I said, that would be the equivalent of me hanging out with Tony DeYoung, who I exposed and ranted on. That's what Alpha Omega Sin did. He's hanging out with Cinemassacre, James, and the Angry Video Game Nerd, even though he trashed them in the Hate Bit podcast. Okay, that's what I learned from Silent Rob. You know, that's what Silent Rob said about Alpha Omega Sin, and that goes to show you how fake and how much of a phony Alpha Omega Sin is. And I seen this other video by Alpha Omega Sin in the Taishan Zone. He showed me this. Alpha Omega Sin did a video about Tekken 7. He was talking about Lucky Chloe. And at the time, there was this thing going on where Tekken 7, they previewed Lucky Chloe, a new video game character in Tekken 7. They previewed this new character, Lucky Chloe, and Alpha Omega Sin did a video about this character and all the backlash and hate. And when I was watching this video, I could just tell this motherfucker didn't care about Tekken. He didn't really give a shit about Tekken. He wasn't really caring about what he was talking about. He just did that video because it was a hot topic, so he could get some clicks, so he could get some money and clickbait. That's all the fuck that motherfucker wants. That's all he cares about is money on YouTube. He don't care about the shit he talks about. And when I say he don't care about gaming, I don't mean that, you know, he don't play video games. I mean, he doesn't care about gaming when he does those videos on YouTube. All he cares about is money. He don't care about the people who watch his channel. You know, he just does these videos about video game articles and articles and regurgitates them and repeats the information and doesn't really analyze them. And he says a bunch of obnoxious shit, and his videos are boring, and he just fucking rages in his videos. And he even looks stupid as well. He looks like a dumb midget hippie Rob Zombie looking motherfucker. Fuck Alpha Omega Sin. I do not like this guy. I do not like this fucking guy. I hate this guy just as much as I hate Review Tech USA. Fuck that fat motherfucker too. I can't stand these YouTubers who only do YouTube for money. They don't care about the content they put out. They're phonies. They just do YouTube for money. I fucking see it in Review Tech USA's videos. Every video he starts, he's always got to talk about his Patreon and all this bullshit. That motherfucker is just an e-begging piece of shit. Fuck him. And that comes back to Alpha Omega Sin. The reasons I hate Alpha Omega Sin, some of the reasons why I hate Alpha Omega Sin are the same reasons I hate Review Tech USA. So it's not just Alpha Omega Sin with some of this, like some of the stuff I hate about him. There's other YouTubers like him as well. But that was my video on Alpha Omega Sin Sucks. I don't like this guy. I really don't like this guy. He's nothing but a fraud. He's nothing but a fucking phony. I do not like this guy. He should not be the YouTuber that gamers look up. If you're a gamer, he shouldn't be the YouTuber you look up to, you watch, subscribe, support. He should not be the face of gaming or the voice of gaming. He should not be the YouTuber you support or look up for gaming type videos. He shouldn't, because he doesn't give a fuck about gaming. All he cares about is fucking money. He's a shit YouTuber, and he doesn't deserve any of the success he has. Not only does his videos suck, and he's obnoxious in his videos, but he doesn't analyze articles, he regurgitates them, much like the 1316 Killer said, and all he cares about is money with these article videos he does. And like I said, his Tekken 7 video about Lucky Chloe was bullshit. I hated that video, because I can tell from watching that video, he didn't care about Tekken. He don't care about Tekken. He don't care about what he's talking about. He just covered that Tekken 7 Loey Chloe situation, not Loey Chloe, what the fuck? Lucky Chloe situation at the time, because it was a hot topic. So he could do a video about it and get some money off it. That's all this guy cares about is money. Just like fucking Review Tech USA. That's really all I gotta say about Alpha Omega Sin. I don't fucking like this guy. I don't. He's a fucking, all he cares about is money. Fucking hanging out with Cinemassacre and people at Cinemassacre, even though he trashed him in the Hate Bit podcast. I learned that from Silent Rob. You know, he let the fame get to his head. He completely changed. He left all his friends in the past. There's nothing I can like about Alpha Omega Sin. Fuck Alpha Omega Sin.